It's funny when I look at your career and I hear you talk about it and the long road it's been. I think of somebody that's come up a lot in your conversations. You worked with him a couple times, is Chadwick Boseman, who I had the privilege of knowing a bit too. And for those that don't know, Chadwick was working a while before it kind of all
Yep.
clicked. He was kind of under the radar, doing theater, doing small stuff. And I mean, how far back when did you and Chadwick connect?
You know what? I wish I can give you the exact year, but I'd like to say it was around 2005 or six
So
when we
this is way
started.
before 42, like you
Oh,
guys.
way before 42 and everything. Chadwick and I did a reading of a play together, and we just really liked each other. We just like we're like okay, it was just a good vibe. And then I was able to do the movie 42. I had a couple of scenes, and then they cut the whole character. So it's funny. That's always in my IMDb, but I'm cut out of the movie. But we had a great time together, and he was just like it was. We just always he just always had a twinkle and a smile in his eye with me because he knew that we could
Yeah.
sort of spar together. So by the time we got to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, that was full out. It was we. I loved working with him. I loved that company, but I remember the first day I saw him, he was like, "Oh, Coleman, I can't wait to dance with you." And so for me, because he liked that sparring like with another actor, and we would challenge each other when with our musicianship by learning our instrument. So everything about it was like because we respected each other so much, and we were like, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing with that instrument. Okay, now I'm gonna go practice mine even more. So it felt like a
Right.
friendly spar, which is great. I miss him.
And I feel like you two both share also. I mean, he talked a lot openly about like, the importance of representing culture and pushing culture and kind of like being at the center of culture as a black man today. Like what he did in the short time he was kind of like elevated to that kind of center status in film is such a
I think
inspiration.
I think, and what a great thing to say. I think as I'm thinking about it right now, I think Chad and I, we always felt like, and I know he did, because I never just thought of him as an actor. I always thought he was so much more. When you watch him deliver like a commencement speech or the way he navigated the industry and the way he was a musician, even the way he walked through spaces and the way he wore his hat or the way he wore his clothes, he was just concerned with being, I don't know, such a bigger person than it just wasn't an artist. It was so much more. And I think that's how we sort of saw each other. We saw each other like, we're not limited and just like we're not just actors trying to get a gig, but we're trying to do something um, with this sort of responsibility that we have
Yeah.
as storytellers, as to engage with culture and society. Um, and we don't take it lightly. I do feel it's funny. I thought about this actually a while ago because I thought Chad was such my I'll tell you a story. Chad said, I remember the night before, um, the night before party, and he was being feted around town for Black Panther. And I see him at the night before party, and he's surrounded by a bunch of like I feel like they were like CIA agents or something, but there was a whole team of people around him, and I had no team around me. I was just this guy came in from New York, went to the night before party, very happy to be there, and I hadn't seen him since 42, and I saw this evolution of him. And I was like, and I stepped up and I, hey, Chad, I don't know if you remember me. He's Colman Domingo. I was like, yeah, hey, Chad, how's it going? I said, I just want to congratulate you on our success for Black Panther. And he just looked at me. And then he turned to his whole team of people and like, this one right here, that's the truth. That one, keep your eye on him. Keep your eye on him. And I was like, oh, well, thank you so much. He was like, no, he said, nah. And he's grabbing somebody, said, that one right there. And so that explains Chad. He had enough for everybody. He never believed he was challenged by anything. If anything, he lifted another person up. Especially, it's difficult sometimes in this industry, believing that there's enough,
Right.
especially when if you're standing in spaces that are pretty limited.
Right.
But then you have somebody who's never, literally, he was like that all the way through of being an advocate for um, fellow brothers.
Yeah. No, I mean, in an industry when sadly, like, yeah, for a long time, arguably, it's like we're gonna let two black actors be
Yeah,
leading
you're
men
the
right
only
now
one.
at a time. Yeah, that's our quota right
Absolutely.
now.
And
Yeah,
he was never
yeah,
he was never challenged by me. And of course, I always wanted to just lift him up as well. So
yeah.
I feel like we shared that. We literally share. We were born a day apart, different years, but we're both Sagittarians. We both love the fact that we're both born a day apart. So we felt like we were very kindred.